Good morning, sunshine. I'm Carey Pena, broadcasting today from the Center for Positive Media. I am so excited to welcome to the studio Dr. Briana Cain, the founder of Ageless Anatomy. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So we're going to talk about something that I'm fairly obsessed with. I'm going to just put it right out there. I'm obsessed with this topic about biohacking. And you are such an expert in this field, such a well-regarded person here in Arizona. So I wanted to bring you in to kind of get to the truths of this. So first of all, what is biohacking?
Yeah, that's a great question. So biohacking is basically using, lifestyle, diet, mental health techniques to optimize your cellular function in a way that prevents chronic disease and prolongs your life.
So what can we do to get on the biohack train? I mean, what can I do today to start biohacking?
Yes, so there's a lot of ways that you can biohack your own life, just as it is. So, the number one thing is moving your body, right? So getting some fresh air, getting outside, or even if you don't have that ability to do that, you could just go to the gym, walk, use a treadmill, Peloton, whatever, just move your body. And I recommend doing that at least 30 minutes a day, doing some kind of movement. Second thing is trying to eat clean. So only eating foods that are whole foods, that come in their original form. So if you think about it, if it's something that you can pick off a tree, you can dig out of the ground, or comes from an animal, then it's usually safe to eat. If it comes in a package, it's something that doesn't exist in its whole food form, not so good. Also drinking purified water and drinking half your body weight in ounces a day. Getting sufficient sleep. We know that between 6 and 8 hours is what we require to do a cleaning process in our central nervous system to prevent things like Alzheimer's. And then something like meditation or yoga or journaling, something that helps your mental health and to lower your cortisol levels. Cortisol can wreak havoc on your metabolic function. So those are basic lifestyle things that can go a really long way when it comes to biohacking.
So this you're talking about really impacting your cellular function.
Absolutely, yeah.
And what about all the testing? I hear all the time, we can test you for this, we can test you for that. I mean, is that stuff legitimate?
So there is value in some specialty testing when it comes to biohacking. If you have a chronic condition, you have symptoms, you have some mental health challenges, there are tests that we can do to help determine if you have certain nutrient deficiencies, or if you require a different form of a supplement, or if your neurotransmitters are off. Do we need to balance those? So there is some value in that specialty testing when it comes to biohacking, especially for people with chronic conditions.
So you say that this can also help folks if you're dealing with depression, or mental health issues, anxiety. How can this help?
So not only would it help if you did, we did some advanced testing to test neurotransmitters, but just doing those basic things to optimize cellular functions helps to not only produce neurotransmitters, those brain chemicals that are important for preventing anxiety and depression, but also to make sure they get metabolized appropriately. So if your cells are functioning at an optimal level, then you're at less risk of developing mental illness.
So what would someone ask for if they were going to call, you're a naturopath, if they were going to call a naturopath or their doctor and ask about this, what would they ask for?
Most of the time they would ask for neurotransmitter testing specifically, but also just some basic lab work to make sure that organ function is good and that you don't have any gross deficiencies in major micronutrients like magnesium or zinc or iron.
You were talking to me before also about the importance of really understanding some of the food sensitivity that people might have. How can that be impactful?
Great, that's a great question. So I would say that almost all health starts in your gut. So a lot of times people develop a resistance or an antibody response to certain foods. And it's not the same kind of sensitivity that you have when you eat shellfish and your throat swells closed. This is a little bit different. It can manifest in a number of ways: mood disorders, fatigue, gastrointestinal troubles, skin, acne breakouts, rashes, this kind of thing, and it could be from something you're eating. And that test would determine if it's a healthy food that's in your diet that's an insult to your system specifically, creating an inflammatory response in your gut. If that's going on, then your intestines are not absorbing nutrients well, you're not eliminating well, and those things can be an obstacle to optimal health.
You run a very busy practice. I mean, what amount of people do you say, and I know this is kind of like you don't have exact numbers, but a lot of folks deal with gut health issues that they don't realize are causing greater issues in their life, right?
Absolutely. I would say that at least 70% of the patients I see have some gastrointestinal issue that we have to address.
So what do you want to encourage people about just being more curious about your own health, whether that's to try to biohack your life, to try to reverse your age by 10, 20 years, whatever it is, or just be, the best possible person you can be day in, day out, mind and body? What do you want to say to people about that?
I think that, just being cognizant about what you expose your body to, taking an active role in, having good health, and just take a few weeks and exercise for 30 minutes a day. Drink half your body weight in ounces of purified water. Eat whole foods and see how you feel. There's just very simple things that people may not even know are an obstacle to them feeling their best.
For you, as an expert in your field, what are the things that you think are, non-negotiables for you?
Drinking water. I can't stress this enough. Not enough people drink enough water.
I feel like you're trying to shame me, right? I feel like you're looking right at me like that because I've been thinking that I'm not drinking enough water. Okay.
You're not the only one. And I think people drink far too much caffeine. They drink far too much alcohol. And they don't eat enough good, nutritious foods. A lot of people are eating packaged food, fast food, a lot of synthetic things, which are also full of chemicals. And that's a whole nother conversation, is chemical exposure. So avoiding foods that are coming from plastics that we know are inundated with hormones or chemicals. Those are things to try to avoid as best you can. Yeah.
As we wrap up though, I mean, this is a whole different segment, but I do have to touch on the chemicals because you always bring this up. So this is important. How do I know as I walk through my day what to avoid? Chemicals are basically in everything and everywhere.
They are, and it's impossible to completely eliminate them. But there are places to start. Don't drink out of plastic water bottles, for example. Anything that has a really pleasant smell to it probably has chemical in it. So anything you put on your body, chemicals like in your perfume or your lotion, get absorbed really well through the skin. So making sure that you get products that are clean, or are you made from essential oils or something different that's not a phthalate, which is really the chemical we worry about in those things. The Environmental Working Group, their website is amazing. They put out lists of products that are clean and safe, and so they're a good resource.
And this is stuff that you say, pay attention to it. This is not just, oh, okay, try to steer away from well, I don't want to name a brand, but
yeah.
but this is legitimate, backed by science, could definitely make a difference in your health and well-being.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the places where I've seen the biggest difference with patients is patients who have mental health struggles, cancer, or they have fertility issues or hormonal issues. That's really where chemicals are damaging.
How can people find out more about your work?
They can find me at Ageless Anatomy. I'm there every day. And also we have social media and our website, www.agelessanatomy.com.
All right. Thank you so much for coming in, Dr.
Thank
Cain.
you.
Appreciate it. And thanks to all of you for watching Good Morning Sunshine. Be sure to click and subscribe. We always have new guests, great experts on weekly, and we want to encourage you to live your best life. I'm Carey Pena. Take good care.